You can't tell ahead of time. You like math?
He loves it, huh? That's his favorite subject.
That's good.
But he likes science too a lot, huh?
Yeah.
You like what?
Science.
Yeah. Well, just hang in there. Is there a science club at your school?
No.
Not in the junior high. Some of the high schools may have something like that, but the high schools out there have like there are custom high schools you can go to where this high school specializes in teaching you how to become a doctor, so that when you go to college you can become a medical doctor. So they have stuff like that, just like the engineering schools and art schools. So I think if we do a specialized school like that, he'll get that. But I don't know if at the public schools they do. They support the sports, and that's the major pull.
Well, they're all public schools. They're just
Specialized, yeah.
public schools is what they're called. Magnet schools is what they call them. And they have focuses, and so they'll have a science, technology, engineering, mathematical program, right? STEM. Yeah. And they just have more than what a regular high school would for options.
Would that be like the charter schools here?
Yeah, kind of.
Similar.
Yeah. And then what they do is they'll have, instead of just like algebra 1, algebra 2, trigonometry, they'll have a bunch of different math classes that you can take. Instead of just like biology or human biology, they'll have different sciences that you can, they just open up a little bit more on options that you can have. And then like they have a health science school, and they, when the kids graduate from high school, they graduate with their their nursing. It's not a nursing certificate. It's not an RN. Okay, move on.
Medical assistant?
No.
An MA? No?
An LP? Something. It's whatever.
Yeah, LP.
LP. It's whatever the lowest.
And there's an LPN.
Okay. Whatever the lowest nursing. CNA.
Yeah, CNA. No, that's it. You're right.
Yeah. So they graduate with the CNA license.
A certificate in nursing assistance.
Assistance. Yeah. So they graduate with a CNA license, and which
It's something.
for a high school student to graduate with that's kind of nice. And then they have their opening a new school that's a judicial school, so they'll have just kind of do some. I don't know what else to add. I don't know how you do a judicial high school, but
Lots of writing.
lots of writing.
Lots of writing and lots of reading is going to be my guess.
Okay.
Case studies.
Your grandma went up to what's the college in Philadelphia?
Temple.
Temple. She went up to Temple for a nursing program, and lasted 2 weeks. Came back home. I wasn't up there. She didn't know what I was doing, what girls I was meeting, and he came back.
That's awesome. 2 weeks.
She told me that.
Yeah.
So that's why she came back.
Well, she's a feisty one. What's hers is hers.
Oh yeah.
So
That's quite a compliment, to me.
yeah. So just talking about all those colleges, we talked about colleges.
Yeah.
And I know you went to a couple, whether you were teaching or whether or not you were a student. When you were at those different colleges, was there anything you're like, this is something I liked, or this is something I would look for? Because I try to tell him, college-wise, I like Stanford. That's my favorite. But I don't know if you'd say that, this one, or look for that. What do you think?
Be very careful that you do not fall into my favorite category.
Okay.
That's being ignorant but highly opinionated.
Okay.
I mean, how much do you know about Stanford?
Not a lot.
See, so why do you like them?
Why do I like him?
Yeah.
Because he can wear shorts and flip-flops almost all year round.
Yep.
And all the programs are ranked in the top 15 in the country.
Well, now you're talking.
So I like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's good weather all year round. It's not in a place where I fear of tornadoes or hurricanes, or I guess there could be earthquakes, but not a huge fear. But I look at those things and I say the education's top notch, the weather's top notch, not a lot of fear of anything too crazy. So I love those are the things that to me I'm like, God, and any program, whether you want to do medical, engineering, mathematics, history, you're looking at the top notch program. So that's what I like about it. But does that mean, that's where, again, What does that mean?
Yeah.
Who knows? What if there's something else you're looking for?
It's way too soon for him to make up his mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to Marshall College before the war for 2 years.
I forgot you went to
And
Marshall.
that was 2 years down the sink. Well, not quite. I learned to drink beer,
That's
stay up late.
you hear that, Kai? College is where you learn to drink beer. But he said it was wasted, so don't forget that part.
You know, some of it comes back up. Oh. But mostly I went to Ohio. I went to Morris Harvey then.
Yeah.
Now they call it the University of Charleston.
Oh, okay.
But it was a little country school, a Baptist country school that moved to Charleston.
Huh.
And they set up in temporary wooden barracks
Yeah?
and whatnot, yeah.
Crazy fun.
They even had one that was given over to a lunchroom and what do you call it, where you go and get a soda or Coke or, you know.
Not the cafeteria. You
Yeah,
mean-
that one side was a cafeteria,
Yeah.
and I was the assistant manager for the whole thing.
Oh really?
The guy that was the manager, one day, it was up to me to clear the cash register at night
Yeah.
and compare the
The
slip
tapes and yep.
with the money.
Yeah.
Well, one night it was $50 over,
Whoa.
extra cash.
Extra.
Well, I turned it in that way. He patted me on the back. He put it in there on purpose to see if I'd keep it.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a lot of money though, right?
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
That's a month's salary or more.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
No, I turned it in.
I would have taken it and ran.
I don't think you would.
No, I wouldn't. And then and then your first major university was when you went to Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
As a student.
Yeah. See, I got a bachelor's degree from Morris Harvey,
Yep.
and then went to Ohio State. I wanted to go to Cornell in freshwater biology because I like to fish and get out and tramp around in the woods.
Yeah.
And the professor that I worked for, I was an assistant all the way through.
Yeah.
He said, "Why don't you go up to Columbus in microbiology, see if you like it."
Huh.
So I went up one summer, left Grandma at home with Steve, and she stayed at her mother's. No, she stayed across the street in an apartment owned by a friend of the family.
Hmm.
And I went up there for the summer, stayed in a fraternity house, which was vacant over the summer. I was the only one in it.
Oh, nice.
Well, all the hotshot boys had gone home for the summer.
Yeah.
And so after the summer, I decided, yeah, I liked it, so I stayed. But the funny part was I didn't take microbiology that summer. I took parasitology.
Huh.
That was fun because of it's a state school, and parasitology bears on freshwater biology. I had a card. I could go fishing anytime, whether it's even open or not, because supposedly what I was doing was catching fish
Doing research.
to look for the parasites.
Brent needs that card.
Yeah.
Brent.
I know. Went one time. I didn't use the card, but I took a friend of mine, and he had an old Ford that wouldn't run, and we took it out to the garage, and the guy made it run, and we took off went from Columbus up to Mount Vernon, Mount Vernon, about 12 miles down the road to Millwood, where I grew up as a little kid. And we're going fishing in the river there. And we were sitting on the bank and had our poles out in line, and talking. And one of the guys that I'd known since I was a kid, who worked on the state roads,
Yeah.
and he spent most of the time sitting on the bench outside the country store. He came along, and I said hi to him. He recognized me, and I said, "Boy, there aren't many fishing." He said, "Oh, there will be tomorrow when the season opens."
You just had some nice. You found a good spot, is all you did. That's right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, it was a very interesting place. There had been a concrete dam there to furnish water for a mill, and the mill was still running. But the dam had gotten washed out in a flood. Half of it was gone.
Yeah.
So there were two abutments, one on each shore, and then half a dam, and then they had put in a brush dam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you cut twigs about that, branches about that big,
Yeah.
stick them in this way, until you build up a great big thing, and it'll hold enough water back to run that. It ran the mill. The mill was still running on water.
Cool. Huh. That's interesting. So you say though you wanted to go to Cornell. Why'd you want to go to Cornell? Just for that program, or?
Yeah, freshwater biology. I didn't know anything about the place.
Yeah.
I wasn't even positive where it was. It's in New York somewhere.
I don't know where it is. I know it's in New York, but I don't know where. That's funny.
But instead, I ended up down there at Ohio State.
And from what you and Grandma said, both of you liked Ohio, right?
What?
You guys liked Ohio.
Oh yeah, we were both born in Ohio and grew up in that general neighborhood.
Yeah.
Your grandma grew up in West Virginia, which is just over the border.
Yeah.
And Charleston is on the Kanawha River, and it's maybe 10 miles up to the Ohio River. The Kanawha empties into the Ohio.
Yeah.
And hello. Fine. You're calling me from where? Yes, and thank you, I'm not interested. He can reduce my electric bill. He can reduce my phone bill by hanging up. I went to a little college that used to be a Baptist college out in the country in West Virginia, and it came into Charleston and set up in some wooden barracks. And now they've put up buildings and God knows what all.
Yeah, right.
But typical, the first thing they put up was a sports arena for their basketball team. I'm not kidding you.
You gotta bring in that money.
Oh yeah. And
Wooden barracks and a basketball arena.
I had the GI Bill,
Mm-hmm.
and that paid for me clear up until I had one semester to go to get my PhD.
It's awesome.
And they knew that, the faculty knew I was going to make it.
Yeah.
So they called the chairman of biology, of microbiology, called the Ohio Heart Association and talked to them, and they gave $1,000. And so as a consequence, I give it to the Ohio Heart the American Heart all the time.
I didn't know that either. Oh my gosh.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have finished.
Yeah, that's awesome.
One of the funny tales I have to tell, you have to take an oral exam.
Uh-huh.
And there was 5 or 6 faculty members sitting there, including the chairman. And one of them was an old country guy that taught water and food microbiology.
Okay.
And so they were asking me questions. And he said, what do you think of what Fred Barrows has done? I said, I don't know. I don't know him. Oh yeah, you know him. He's from here. He's from Ohio. No, I don't think I do. Oh, haven't you run into him? And they wanted me to do it. I said no. And pretty soon, the chairman laughed. He said, I can always hear him. He says, Harry, give it up. He ain't gonna answer you. They wanted to see if I'd bluff.
If you lie about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I think I remember him.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
He was laughing. He says, Harry, give it up. He ain't gonna answer you. Harry, I can't think of his last name. But
Yeah.
I'll never forget the Harry.
That's a character question though, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
You pass with flying colors.
Yeah.
You're not one to do that though. You're not one to lie about it or try to just fit in. If you don't know, you're gonna say, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh God! At Morris Harvey College, I worked for the guy he was chair of the biology, but there was only 2 of them in the department.
Oh.
But I went in. I would go in. I was his assistant. I would go in when he ate lunch
Mm.
and sit and talk to him. He always brought his lunch in a sack.
Yeah.
Quite often a hard-boiled egg. He says that's the best thing you can bring. And he says nobody can get their fingers into it before you eat it. You know?
Keeps it pure, yeah.
We were sitting there and there was a knock at the door. He said, come in. And it was a girl. She wanted to know how she was doing. Well, he pulled this drawer like this, got out the book, closed the drawer and put it down like that down. He says, you're failing. He closed the book and put it in. And she hemmed and hawed and she says, well, if I get an A in the final, will I pass? You can't get an A in the final. You don't know enough.
You don't, yeah, right.
Remember that? I'll never forget that as long as I live. You know, that's the standard question. If I get an A in the final, will I pass?
I had a lot of classes too that would, I don't want to say they'd set it up that way, but you know, the final does have so much weight
Oh yeah.
that if you beat that, then you get the grade.
Yeah.
Which which the professor just said, but that's not the point. The point isn't to say on this one test I memorized these 30 things that you wanted me to say. It's, do you understand the concept? Do you understand what's here? Do you have a knowledge of it?
Yeah.
And that's, I fear that's not where they're going right now. That's too bad.
No, they want the grade.
Yeah, they just, I checked the boxes. I got the grade. The boss needs something. She probably needs a piece of cake, a nice glass of milk, and if somebody could massage her feet, that would be wonderful.
If somebody did what?
Massage her feet.
Oh. Well, go get her a glass of
Well,
milk.
no. I'll go see what she wants. Come on, let me go see. We'll check on the diva.
And I don't know whether there's any cookies or not. I know they're in the. I don't know what's out there. If I made her a little sandwich, what would she want on it?
What?
If I made her a little sandwich, what would she
She
put?
wants Kyler to come in and play with her.
Well, good luck.
Yeah. She doesn't need a, I mean,
Well, she's got her daddy.
oh yes.
You're not trying to tell me she manipulates people, are you?
She can.
Where are you going?
Oh, I'm sitting right here. I'm not moving.
Oh, you're not going anywhere, huh?
No, I'm not going to the fire.
Go check on her. Go see what she wants. What if she wants to play with you? Be nice.
pile of snakes wants to play with. Or saying a pile of snakes wants to strangle me.
Kyler knows what she wants.
She wants me to come in so she can get me in trouble.
No,
Guaranteed.
you are gonna get yourself in trouble.
I don't get myself in trouble.
Either. I'm all done talking to you now.
Okay.
Did you have a chance to see the people you wanted to see here?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a sister? Yeah.
2 sisters.
2. Where?
One sister lives in South Jordan, and we stayed with her.
Ah.
And then my other sister, she lives up here in Clearfield.
That Clearfield. That one I remember you going up to. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they do? Housewives?
No. My older sister, she does mortgages.
She what?
She does mortgages, home mortgages.
Oh.
Yeah. And then my little sister is a supervisor for Discover Card. So, yeah.
So they're making their own way.
Yeah.
That's great. Are you getting to cut enough hair to satisfy you?
Yeah. Right now I'm trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. So.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm kind of just, doing this to get me out of the house and see what I like and
Yeah.
get some ideas.
Well, that's the important thing. That's sitting at home. That'll kill you.
Yeah. I can't sit home, but I don't know what I want to do, and I just need to figure that out.
Grandma got up and went down to LSU when we were in New Orleans and applied for a job in a lab, pathology lab. Got it. Boy, she liked that.
Did she?
Yeah. And then she came up here and got a job in the Department of Surgery in a lab upstairs where the surgeons practice new techniques on dogs.
Oh.
You took my seat.
See, I can tell there's certain things I want a job that I do something. I don't, and by that I mean I don't want to go and sit at a desk. I can't do that. I can't sit at a computer. And not that you're not doing something, but to,
Yeah, well,
I want to,
you'd rather dig a ditch.
I would. Not that that's what I want to do, but
Yeah.
I would rather dig a ditch than sit at a computer and do,
Well,
and type or enter in numbers or,
do you like to sell?
I don't. That's my other problem. I don't mind educating somebody about a product, but I don't want to push it on you, and I don't
Yeah.
want to come up with ideas to,
Yeah.
sell you on it. Like I don't want to. How he said earlier, I'm the type of person that if you want a product, you'll come to me and say I want this product, and I'll say, well, if you want your hair cut, you'll come to me and I'll cut your hair. I don't want to harass you and say, oh, you need this new haircut. I know you just got your haircut, but now you need this one. I don't like doing that.
Did you find something for the kids?
No, I took care of me. Kai's tired and bored. She wants to play with him, but right now he doesn't want to play with her. So, if they want, we own expensive electronics that they can look at, or they can go outside in the beautiful sun and throw snowballs, or she can go down and check the stream and see if there's any fish in there. And there's plenty of things to do. But yeah, I took care of me.
When did they eat last?
Right before we came up. And then we're gonna grab something to eat actually after we're done here. So they're good. I promise. I appreciate it though.
Okay. Now you drove here from Vegas?
Correct. Yep.
And you got to drive it. That, driving from Vegas here, I can see you can make yourself do it. Going back to Vegas,
Cause all those the plane tickets are just cheaper. That's why.
Even counting in the cost of the car?
So with my company, that car only cost me $100 to rent it.
Huh.
So, and we'd have to rent a car almost anyways.
What's the matter, Magoo? Got something in your throat? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Kyle will take care of you.
Right?
Kenny will take care of you.
Yeah, we figured we have to rent a car whether we're here or there. So,
Yep. So when we looked at it, car had to be rented. It's not expensive. It's only $100 for the whole week.
Huh.
5 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days. So $25 a day to be able to drive a car around. That's not bad.
No, it's not.
No. And so I got that, and then, like I said, airfare $850, $870 for all of us. And then if we would have tried to fly up here,
it was close to 2,000.
it'd be close to 2,000. So it's a lot cheaper to do that.
Vegas wants you over there.
Then, like you said, I'm sure
Oh, yeah.
flying to Vegas helps the airlines
Oh, yeah.
fly you in there. It is a drive. It's hard to say, I'm not wasting, but 10 hours of driving. Where I wish we had 10 more hours here to be with everybody, but
Oh, well.
not this time.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing that's hard is San Antonio doesn't have a whole lot of flights that fly directly into Salt Lake. So, like a lot of them, we would have had to fly to Denver, and then you have
Oh,
the
yeah.
2-hour layover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a 3-hour flight from San Antonio to Denver, and then you got a 3-hour layover, and then it's a
So it's a 7-hour trip to fly here anyway.
Yeah.
So why not fly for 2.5 hours to Vegas and then drive up? Then that's
How long does it take you to drive up?
me.
Yeah.
I drive really fast. No, I don't know. When we probably did about 5 hours last night.
Yeah, 5.
Say 5.5, somewhere in there. Yeah.
I used to do that on vacation.
Right.
Drive from New Orleans up into Colorado.
Oh my gosh, that's a trip. You go through Texas and Oklahoma. How would you do that? That
You go-
route?
You have to go through the little arm in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd go
Hmm.
over north. We'd go up close to Austin, North Texas,
okay.
and then over to Colorado, and then. Oh yeah, a couple of times I had to go to the doctor and get a blood clot taken out of a hemorrhoid from sitting in a car
That's-
that long.
Oh my gosh, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's painful.
I bet. So now, and Shay's a road warrior. She always tells me she'd love to go do a trip, like a vacation where we drive back east and drive back, a nice 14 days and
Yeah.
being in the car and traveling probably 2,000 miles, and I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't. Well, you're driving.
Right?
I'll drive. You can
No. I'd rather get there and enjoy it and relax. And I work so hard right now that when I go on vacation, I like to decompress and not think hard and not have, like, if I want to have a whole day where I don't do a dang thing but sit by the swimming pool and take a nap, I want that day to happen.
Ah.
She doesn't, but I do. But yeah, that's where we're at.
I come home a lot and sit down there with a book. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up. You know, what time is it?
What?
Daddy.
It's where you like it when you look at the clock, if it's 7 p.m. or 7 a.m., right?
Yeah. No,
Where's
I'm
the
not
sun?
that bad.
What, princess?
It was 103.
Oh, really? 103? Nice. I love it. You want to go throw this away for me? Would you be my big helper? Grandpa, Kai was just asking me how old you were. He's too afraid to ask you.
How old are you?
Just tell him when you were born.
21.
He's not 21.
Andy? 96?
I'll be 96 in October.
Not 10, 15?
16.
16.
16.
Yep, October 16th. 96. Isn't that awesome? Dad's hoping to make it to 50.
Your nappy nest.